You know, we were more assertive than our parents as teens, as rights were being provided through law. We had a little bit more arrogance than our parents. Our parents were pretty much, they abided by the law, and they knew that that was the only thing that was expected of them. So they participated in their own discrimination. I'll give you an example. The colored and the white water fountains. That was probably the most overt, as well as restrooms and being able to go to certain restaurants. You could not be served by whites even when I was a child. And I remember these things. But see, I got a glimpse at the evening news, something that a lot of young folk don't want to do these days. And I saw the freedom riders sitting at the counters and eating and being taken away, beaten up, and this made the nightly news. And I thought it was really powerful and brave of them to stand up to a law and say it's not fair.
Social and political freedom means the opportunity to select a president, the opportunity to select people who are senators and congressmen, but more importantly, the opportunity to cast a vote to select your representative on a local level, whether it's chairman of Fulton County, or the mayor of the city of Atlanta, or a city council person, or a school board person. We all need to exercise our right to vote. I was just in an election where I won by 300 votes. So in other words, if 300 people had decided that day not to vote or vote for me, I wouldn't have won. And so a lot of times people say, my vote doesn't count. Well, the reality is everybody's vote counts. So social and political freedom means the opportunity when you turn 18 years old to vote, go ahead and take advantage of it, because many people around the world don't have the opportunity to participate in a democratic process.
The youth of Urban League of Palm Beach County had the awesome opportunity to interview legacy keepers for our legacy video. We were able to speak to community leaders, pastors, educators about the past. We have been able to learn and really understand the events that affect African Americans in this country. This understanding will definitely shape our future. It has been a privilege to have been a part of this project. We all now know the importance of oral history. This has been an experience that we will remember for years to come.
I was born in Marion County in a little settlement called Bleachton. It's 14 miles out of Ocala, Florida. My father came from the Bahamas. My mother came from the little community I just settled. She came to live with an uncle she had here. And of course, while he was a young lady, she met my father. I was born in 1928. That's about 6 years ago. And at that time, we had ranked or strict so-called segregation. City ordinances of West Palm Beach. The ordinance was very clear. It will tell you that at a point commencing at, say, Tamron and 7th Street, moving south to a point where the tourist street will intersect with Tamron, moving east to a point where Tamron will intersect with Sabadilla, and will go all the way to Pleasant City and back to the point where it began, geographically. And then it will say, shall be known as the Negro section. Even for drinking water, you had a white place, a fountain for water, and a black fountain for water. You could not go into stores, a host of things you could not do. Unemployment was difficult except as domestics for the most part. And that is what the civil rights, part of what the civil rights movement was all about. In around 1900, the turn of the century, when Henry and Flagler built what was known as the Royal Poinciana Hotel, which doesn't exist anymore, that was big business for black folk, as it were. Henry Flagler did not permit motorized vehicles in Palm Beach. So those were called wheelchairs by some, Afro-mobiles by others, and there were other names that were used for those, but they were all operated by black folk. But now, you find people of color as clerks, you find them in high positions, you find them on the city council, you find them as policemen, mayors, all of that was not in existence at that time. I've seen segregation move from an openness to a kind of more subtle or smooth operation. We still have it. The Urban League never was in its beginning, isn't today, a black organization. It's an interracial organization. From the national to the local level, the board of directors and all, the sponsors. And I hope that the Urban League can foster that interracial. When I say interracial, it's moving beyond now just blacks and use the word minorities. That's a good word. And let's move America.
Hi, I'm Lena.
I'm Jada. And I'm Vanessa.
Welcome to San Diego's HEL Video Project.
One of the things that impacted that situation was the fact that they left behind a lot of their relatives who did not make that transition to the north.
The conditions in my hometown were the same as the conditions in practically every northern town.
Pastor Ham, I am not nonviolent. You know, I had just spent my time in the war zones, and if someone was going to spin on me, I was going to hurt them.
I have some very, and have had all my life, very good friends who are white. I consider them personal good friends, but they're white, and they still have a white privilege that I don't have.
The Great Migration between 1910 and 1940 was a journey where African Americans traveled from the South to the North.
They were in search of a better life, economically, socially, educationally, and culturally. They heard they would work and escape the horrors of the Jim Crow laws.
But when they reached the North, they found that the white Americans in the North treated them just like those in the South.
It feels like every interview that we've done has touched based on how We as young people aren't really passionate about our education, basically.
No, I didn't know any Omaha history besides like the Malcolm X and everything like that. That's really the only thing I knew about it.
No, I can't say I have. If I did, I can't remember any stories about Omaha's history.
Before Project Ready, I did not know much about it.
Being a kid in Omaha, you learn very little about Omaha.
Found out from Project Ready from my dad, who works at the Urban League.
He works for Urban League, and so he was like, you're gonna do this program.
When it first started, I went in and I was like, this is all right, but I really like it now, so.
I've never actually worked with a video camera before. That was a pretty big experience for me.
Being behind a camera and recording has really had me learn a lot.
I would like the interviewing process because I like, asking people questions and getting to know about them and stuff. So that would probably be my favorite one.